Young guys in the secondary that played last year. Now they look like they're going to be a core for you. Just talk about that unit and your excitement level with what you've got.
Well, it's been a long time since I played. For freshmen, we played a lot. This season, those guys played the whole game. But they're still learning. A lot of times as a coach, you look at them and because they played last year, thinking they're getting mature. But I've had to step back a little bit this spring to realize that, hey, these guys still are just freshmen right now. Will be sophomores next year, and starting the teaching process over again because guys forget. They just came in and got surprised, and it surprised them. I think how much they all played, but we've had to start over and teach, and we still need some guys to come in and join the crew. To make sure that we can all guard the defense.
Who's been the guys that have been standing out?
It hadn't just been one particular guy. It was good to get a couple of guys in. We got a junior college player to help mature us, and Jamie Bird, and of course Nate and Hassan and Johnny, who played a whole lot last year, Lamar, who played a whole lot last year. All those guys have done pretty good things. Terrell Sappho, who was an upperclassman that didn't play much for us last year, played a little bit on special teams until he got injured. He actually played well. So, we just got to keep maturing and keep getting better and see how it goes.
A lot of us saw Jamie in high school as a local guy. What has he brought to this level?
Well, he's brought some maturity. He's tough. He'll tackle. He'll hit. Secondary. If you can add somebody in it who receivers or coordinators or quarterbacks fear a little bit to say, hey, he'll hit us. Then it adds a little more to it. So he stepped in and played a little nickel and played safety, and I've moved him around a little bit to see where his mental capacity was. He was able to learn everything we've put in, and I'm pleased with him for him to be here for 13 practices. I look at by the time he studies a little bit during the summer and during tour-days, he should be even better for us.
Because you have so many young guys who have played, seem to like each other, play well together. Do you see them kind of developing an identity? Do you want them to have an identity and a lot of pride in kind of who they are as a unit?
Well, I do. I want them to play well as a unit, but at the same time, I want them to know that the main focus is on the team. We got to hold up our end of the bargain. And playing the secondary is hard. I always say it's sort of like quarterback. At the same time, it's sort of like the offensive line. If the quarterback gets sacked, everybody knows it's the line. But if the quarterback throws an interception, it's the quarterback. But at the same time, you may not understand the receiver running the wrong route. Well, the ball can break through the D line and untouched, and if we miss a tackle that goes 80 yards, you see it. Quarterback can break contain. Should have been contained and throw a ball overhead. Everybody sees it. So to play in the secondary, you got to be a little bit different. You got to understand you're going to get beat, and I think the guys are understanding that a little bit more. And the ones that are become great understand when you get beat, you sort of got to forget about it. You can't go to the next play. And so our guys are maturing that way. I'm pleased with them. We're going to still need that other group coming in to join us during the summer. The group we signed. To be all we can be because our numbers back there. We got players that have played, but at the same time, it takes a full group to get it done for an entire season.
Speaking of maturity, because you do have a lot of young guys, is there somebody that's proving to be a vocal leader or a leader in the locker room?
Who was coming around for us back there? Besides adding Jamie to us help us out, Nate Godwin was coming around. Nate was having a solid spring and doing some really good things. He played a lot of football. He played from the beginning to the end. And I tell you, coming to the 2 days last year, I didn't even know if he not redshirt. He played a whole lot. So he's matured enough, and it's going to still take a good, the next several months for us to really get this group honed in together to make sure that we're a special group.
Coach Sappho, I saw him on crutches. What's his status going forward?
He'll be all right. He's just something about a cartilage in the knee. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He may not play Saturday, but at the same time, he's not out. He'll be back, so he's still in the mix.
From a coaching standpoint, I'm sure spring football you judge the totality of the 15 practices and all. But what's the importance of Saturday? What you're going to see Saturday in terms of what you take forward?
Well, we divided the teams up pretty even. We had a draft. The guys got excited. Coach Taggart does a great job of organizing how we do the spring game and excitement of it, and with the players, and building the competitiveness between the coaches and the players and trainers and managers. Everybody's on the team, and at the same time, though, we want to see them compete. We want to see them compete. We want to see them play. It's probably the first look at the team that we have next year. Our team next year will show our fans and each other and the coaches as to, can they compete? It's time to play. The game is still won on those 12 Saturdays. And so this is sort of like a Saturday, and this is the first one of this season, and we've got to compete. We want to see them compete and basically do their job and play well.